I meant to do that. Welcome to my final video for my Halloween special. My final top 5 best horror movies that, in my opinion, are without question one of the best. Oh, it's hot in here. Excuse me one moment, folks. Whew! I'm back. Yeah, this is way better. Better than wearing that costume, which was pretty much killing me. Well, as you know, I've been making for the last couple of weeks top 5 movies that are based on horrors that are either the best or the worst. Pretty much in zombies, dolls, remakes, sequels. Today, my top 5 is going to be, well, in my opinion, the best of the best. In my view, these are great horror movies that are better than the ones that I've mentioned in the past. And, well, let's get started with number 5. And that number 5 is Nightmare on Elm Street. Without question, Nightmare on Elm Street is one of my favorites in this top 5 because of pretty much Freddy Krueger. I mean, he is without question one of the most iconic horror icons, and the way he kills his victims is very unique. I like that. I like how we have a killer who doesn't come after you through a forest or in your house or in anything that's relatable to horror movies. This guy can kill you in your dreams, and I like that a lot. It's very unique. I don't think it's been done before when this movie came out, and you know, Robert Englund, he did such a great job playing Freddy, and this helped other young actors in their careers, at least some of them. I know Johnny Depp did well after this movie, and you know, one of the most memorable scenes from that movie, at least memorable deaths from this movie, came when Freddy pulled Johnny Depp's character down through the bed, and then just a wave of blood came right through the bed, the hole that was made, and it was awesome. I have never seen a death scene like that before. That was very unique, just like everything else from this movie. I love that scene, and you know, I also like how, you know, they took a chance with this movie, because a lot of people didn't think this movie was going to be a success, but lo and behold, it was a success. I mean, I was disappointed with the remake that they made, but this one will always be the best, at least the original. Number 4, it's Pumpkinhead. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't know what this movie is about, or even, you know about it. Pumpkinhead is a movie about a father who seeks revenge on these kids, these teenage kids from the city that were responsible for killing his son, and he seeks revenge on these kids, wanting to make them pay for what happened to his son, who, you know, died in a very tragic way. But you know, it's what I like about this movie is the fact that how far this father wanted to go to get revenge. And so he goes to meet this witch who tells him to dig up this body out near some patch of pumpkins. And he does. He finds the body, and she explains to him that this body is the embodiment of vengeance. At least that's what I remember much. At least I've tried to remember much from that movie. And I like that because when you see the monster Pumpkinhead, when she does conjure up the creature, you see it in this monstrous form. And yeah, that's something we would all imagine how someone would look, at least in a monstrous form, seeking revenge. I mean, we all have that feeling of wanting revenge, especially if someone we love and care about gets hurt. And that's what I like about this movie. It's not just about this monster killing these kids. It's how far this father's willing to go to have this revenge be seeked out, even if he has to make a deal with the devil, or even go as far as selling his own soul for this monster to be summoned to kill. And he sees what's going on through the monster's eyes. He can see this monster killing these kids, and he feels the pain that's going on. He wants it to stop. He wants it to stop, but the witch tells him that's the price you pay for doing this. And that's what I love about this movie. And the father, decides that in order to save the remaining kids, he has to take his own life. And it ends, tragically for him, but he does end up saving these kids' lives, even though he does end up transforming into what the monster is. And that's what I love about this movie, is because of that. It's because of the moral of the story. That's what I love about it. Now, granted, it's not Freddy where he can kill you in your dreams, but this monster is a threat, especially when the people living around this town don't get involved in helping these kids, because they know if they do, the monster will mark them and they will end up being killed. So they want to help them, but they can't, because they know if they do, they will end up dead. Number 3 is It. Now, how many people watched this two-part miniseries, and at least when they were young, and did not get scared of clowns? I did. This was, without question, one of those movies that really did get me a fear of clowns. Tim Curry in this movie is awesome. He did such a great job playing the clown Pennywise, who is this monster taking on the form of a clown, trying to bring fear, taking the form of fear of whatever these kids are afraid of, like a werewolf or even a mummy or anything scary in their view, and tries to make them afraid so he can kill them. And that's what I like from this movie. So, in fact, Tim Curry is awesome in this movie. I don't care what any people say about it. He did such a great job just being like this. He was as you grow up, you can see he is a bit of a, it's not really scary, the clown. It's kind of goofy, it's kind of funny, and I like that. But I still fear the clown. I would not want to go near him. I also like the kids from this movie too, is how they know how dangerous this clown is, and they have to work together to stop him. They have to overcome their fear. Even years later, when the clown comes back, even as adults, they know what they have to do. They have to come back. They have to take care of this once and for all, because of a promise they made to each other when they were kids. They would come back and finish the job, and that's what I like. Now, granted, again, like I said, there are some goofy moments in this movie. Certainly not one of Stephen King's best, but it is one of the good ones that, weren't like the ones he tried to make on his own. Ugh. But it's still one of my best in this list, but it's not number 1 or number 2, and here's the reason why. Here is number 2. Jaws. For those that know me, they know that this had to be on my list. Yes, Jaws is without question one of my favorites in horror movies. I mean, this movie, anything that involves sharks, I definitely want to see it. At least one that don't look crappy and are not related to anything from the Sci-Fi Channel. That's nothing from there. Anyways, this movie, I like it a lot because it's actually based on a book, which is based on true events. At least shark attacks that happened in New Jersey back years ago, long ago, that happened up the coast of New Jersey, where there was 5 shark attacks. 4 of them were fatal, and it happened along the coast of New Jersey, the beaches, and up a river, creek, whatever. And that's actually pretty cool that this movie was based on a book that was based on actual shark attack that happened years ago, and that's what I like. I also like the one of the characters, Quint, who talks about the Indianapolis. There you go, the Indianapolis, which was a Navy ship that was around during World War II that was struck by Japanese torpedoes and was sunk, and hundreds of soldiers were in the water, and many of them were killed. Not by shark attacks. Some of them were killed by the sharks, but many of them died by other ways. But still, this is what I love about this, is that how he's telling the story, and as soon as he tells it, you're hooked on this, and that's what I like. I want to hear a story in a movie that can get you hooked. And this story that he tells definitely gets you hooked on it. I also like how we don't get to see the shark until later on in the movie. I mean, you do see some scenes about the shark, like the fin or maybe the side of its face attacking someone. But other than that, you don't get to see the full version of the shark until later in the movie. And that's what I love, is the fact that we see through the camera point of view that they're trying to indicate that's what the shark is looking at. We get to see what the shark is looking at. We get to hear that awesome theme song building up. Dun, 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 dun. That is just awesome. I mean, you add that in any kind of horror movie, you know you're gonna get a good response there. Oh, anytime I hear that, especially if I'm in the water, I know. Holy shit! I'm getting out here. I'm gonna stay in here. Oh, God, Jaws. Oh, it's a shame you were ruined by the many crappy sequels you had, but you're still awesome. And one part of this movie that I love the most out of the other ones is how the shark got blown up. Is how the main character is shooting the shark with a tank in its mouth, and he says that famous line, I will never forget this. Smile, you son of a boom! The sharks explode. That is just... it's a shame that movies like that don't have awesome lines anymore. They really don't. Alright, let's get with the final list of this, the number one of my list. So, let's get it over with. That number one is The Exorcist. Yeah, I'm sure many people were probably wondering, or maybe those that I know were probably wondering, is The Exorcist or any movie that I'm thinking of ever gonna make any list? Anywhere in this list? Sorry, it's been a long day. Anyways, back to the Exorcist. I like this movie a lot because it really scares me. It scared me when I was a kid. It even scares me now. I can't even watch this movie without having the door to my room open, having the lights turned on, and just because this movie does, it can still bring fear to those who have seen it before, and even those as adults. I know I still have that. We get to see this young girl who is slowly being possessed by a demon. We get to see what's going on with her as she slowly becomes the demon that we know, that we later see in the movie when she's being exorcised by these two priests. And we also get to see the personal life of one of the priests who's struggling with his life and struggling with his mother. It's and it shows when he's trying to help save this girl with the older priest. He's trying his best to save him, but the demon with the tauntings and it's just, you see that it does get to him, and you get to see that we don't know if he's gonna make it through this or not. One scene I love that still sends a chill down my spine is when the girl is coming down the stairs doing that spider walk dance. I mean, oh my god, it's so scary. I don't know how they did that, but that was awesome. That was awesome and scary at the same time. It really was. In the end, they do end up saving the girl's life, but it came with a price with the two priests. They both ended up being killed, but they saved the girl's life. And, we later get other sequels to this movie, but this one, the very first Exorcist, is forever in my heart as one of the best in my number one list of best horror movies of all time, at least in my view. Another thing that I should mention is that, I don't know if any people knew this, but during the making of this movie, there was a lot of strange things going on, people getting hurt. They actually had to bring in an actual priest to, cleanse the place. So, I hope the people who survived that, knew that this movie was worth it. It was worth the make. That's it, everybody. Take care. I will be here next time to give you more love and more entertainment. And happy Halloween! Whee! Son of a bitch!